Good morning. This is Bob Passy again from Democracy Rising America. I'm going to say a little more about what I talked about yesterday, which was a citizens' movement to stand up against the excesses of what's going on. In a way, we have a system that is destroying democracy and destroying our kind of human impulses in the process, and turning our country into a kind of authoritarian state. And we're in the middle of an existential crisis. The very existence of democracy in this country is in real jeopardy, not to mention the fact that the future of the earth in terms of human inhabitants is in real jeopardy too. These are not things that we can wait on and decide if we want to do it or not. If we don't do something, we're going to lose those things. We're going to lose an inhabitable earth. We're going to lose a democracy, the option of having a democracy, what this country was built on and what their heritage has been. Since the New Deal, we have watched things being eroded more and more as business has become the dominant thing, as capitalism has sort of replaced democracy with its sort of marketplace morality, that if things are doing well in the market, they must be good for people, and if the market doesn't support social programs, we shouldn't have them, for instance. It's hardly it's just been devastating to people, not only in the United States, but all around the world, and it has been expanded to the entire world. So I know enough about organizations, and I know enough about systems to know that no system can exist without at least the tacit support of the people that are existing under it. If we withdraw our support from this system of radical free market capitalism that has been devastating not only us but the world, it can't survive. So I'm suggesting getting what I call a big tent citizens movement in the United States that is really about how to support an alternative system. Now, the alternative system that I'm talking about isn't some, idealistic system. I'm talking about going back to the much more balanced system that even included capitalism in a much more moderate way of the New Deal. That kind of thing where there was balance. There was balance between business and workers, and the citizens had a voice. So we know it can work. This isn't some radical idea. As a matter of fact, this extreme free market capitalism is a much more radical idea. And over the years, it has really subverted almost everything that democracy stands for. And we had kind of a soft coup with the election of the second George Bush, who really was appointed by the Supreme Court. And since that time, almost everything has been co-opted, and we just move further and further toward a system of total control by the financial elite, with almost no concern for the ordinary citizens. And the Trump election is, you may think that that's the citizens having a voice. They may have put him in, a certain group of citizens, but he's going to make a deal with the economic elite. And, we know him. He's a wheeler dealer. He's going to come out of this making a lot of money at our expense. And he will be a much more autocratic ruler. Remember, he thinks he's the CEO of the United States now. And, that very idea is just quite incredible. But we need to develop a movement. We could call it Citizens United America. That is open to any citizen, regardless of where they're coming from, politically or economically or religiously or in any way. Anybody who seriously believes and is committed to going back to a democratic system would be welcome with open arms. That includes businessmen. It could be anybody. They just have to believe that extreme free market capitalism is a system that has failed, and now we're going to go back to a much more reasonable system, balanced system of democracy. So, you know, and people have even asked me, so what do we do? Well, you begin to organize locally, and there are a couple of things that you can do. First of all, this gives you something to believe in, not to be opposed to. If you're fighting something, you give it a lot of energy. If you simply took your energy and go to somewhere else, if you stop supporting the free market capitalism system as much as you can, and you begin to support things that are much more based on supporting democracy, that is what we need. Then we need some sort of way of getting citizens to not feel alone in doing this. So you can begin to have local meetings, simply getting people together. One of my ideas is to get buttons that says Democracy Rising America. And so if you wear those, then other people will say, oh, there's somebody else that agrees with me. Here's somebody else that's fighting the good fight. And the two goals, two goals are really to go back to a healthy democracy and to make sure that we have an earth that's inhabitable. And so those are the two goals, and to make sure that both democracy and the environmental changes that earth is sustainable. And so I'll talk more about this, but it's a place to start. And it's really about having an alternative vision that we can wholeheartedly support. Again, this is Bob Passy with Democracy Rising America, and I'll talk to you again soon. Thank you.